is unfairly treated. I'm truly trying not to get too logical with it, just out of respect for them. And then any information given in the program in whatever form is accurate, and that all sides to any issue of public interest are equitably presented for fairness and balance. So I hope that you understand how this is supposed to go moving forward, because we can understand how Nigeria truly is, and we can understand how very quickly things can divide us. You understand that? You can understand how things can divide us. You can understand how we are already trying to manage what is a perceived kind of division. We're trying to find common grounds for collective unity, for peace, for a collective objective that we can all work towards as a people to achieve. So I'm asking that when you call in, and I think that you may have some judgment or you may have some disagreements. I think once again it's necessary to state that the MBC has a job to do. Okay. Now, the reason I also thought to bring this on air was so that when I say to you, hold on, this is really the real McCoy. When I say to you, please modulate your statements, modulate your language, please remember that there are regulations. You understand exactly what I'm referring to. The embassy has a job to do. I have a job to do. There's a company to run. I'm sure you want to wake up tomorrow and still have your radio station. And everybody needs to manage their own fair share of responsibility. So this is me managing my responsibility. You can be critical of the political parties. This is not saying do not be critical. You can be critical, but remember here that what the MBC is deliberately highlighting is the language that may appear to disadvantage one person or party to the benefit of the other. And I trust that you understand it. We can truly have a fun-filled conversation on radio regardless, but please remember there are rules and borderlines that we have to stay within, all right? Thank you so much. It's 1 p.m. We're off on a break.
It's 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
The news update on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Buluwati Fairjagade with a news update. The federal government has set 16 years as the minimum age for admission into Nigeria's tertiary institutions. Education Minister Dr. Tunji Alausa made this known Tuesday at JAM's policy meeting in Abuja. He warned that any admission outside the CAPS platform is illegal and institutions involved in fraud will face prosecution. Alausa stressed the age limit is not negotiable and must be strictly enforced. Corporate Accountability and Public Participation Africa is calling on the federal government to raise Nigeria's sugar-sweetened beverage tax from 10 naira to at least 130 naira per litre. Speaking in Abuja, Kappa Executive Director Akimbodi Oluwafemi warned that soft drinks are fueling rising cases of diabetes, stroke, and heart disease. He said a higher tax would reduce consumption, boost revenue, and protect public health in line with global best practices. The House of Reps is debating a bill to create an agency to manage National Assembly infrastructure. The agency would take over from the Federal Capital Development Authority, which currently handles the buildings. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas says the move will ensure independence, better maintenance, and cost savings. Lawmakers say FCDA control violates the separation of power. The new agency would oversee the Assembly Complex, Legislative Institute, and other key facilities. Gunmen have killed at least 70 vigilantes in Kanam local government area of Plateau State. The group was ambushed near Kukawa while heading to a bandit hideout in Madam Forest. A local leader said the vigilantes first clashed with residents before the attack. Over 60 bodies have been recovered, with more feared in the bush. Security agencies have been notified. 3 children died in 6 and 6 others were injured after a train hit a school van in Tamil Nadu in India. Police say the driver tried to cross the tracks despite warnings. A bystander was also hurt by a snapped electric cable. And that's all for the news at this time. If you have a report that you want us to cover, call us on 014657175. That is 014657175. Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Buluwati Fair. Jagada, the sunny side with Joyce continues.
We bring it all on the table, as plain as it can be.
For conversations you want to get involved with.
And the ones you shouldn't.
No holds barred.
Only on your number one station for talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Lagos, don't forget that you too can win money on here on Nigeria Info, courtesy of oneplay.ng. Now, I know I have said this time and time again, but I mean, does the money ever get too much? All you have to do is go to the website www.oneplay.ng. That's number oneplay.ng. And when you get to that website, pick your station, Nigeria Info, follow the instructions, and in a few seconds, your ticket will be in the draw. A ticket is 500 naira, so you can play with 500 naira or more. And if you don't have a smartphone, well, not to worry. All you have to do is dial the code *347 *880 *3 *347 *880 *3 Now, playing with 500 naira or more can also get your tickets in the draw. Now, remember that the more you play, the better your chances of winning every day. There's money to be won on the Money Crossfire. There's money to be won on WhatsApp Lagos. 3 people, in fact, win 25,000 naira on the WhatsApp Lagos show. And on Sunnyside, there's money to be won on there as well. Yes, there's also money to be won on Game On shows, weekday, weekend, money everywhere. But that's not even all, because every Friday there's a jackpot of 50,000 naira per show. And you, my dear, can get some of that money. All you have to do is make sure you're playing during the week, and automatically you get qualified for the weekly jackpot. Remember, your chances of winning are still the same. So whether you're playing on a smartphone with the website www.oneplay.ng, or you're doing it on a dataless phone or a small phone, yes, that small touchlight phone, if you're dialing the code *347 *880 *3 either ways, your chances of winning are still the same. Okay, remember to play responsibly, Lagos. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you're under 18, this is not your group chat, please. You can now excuse us. All right then, 18 and above, let's start playing and let's start winning. There's money on ground. Do you want to get it?
If news is your quest, or gist your request,
Yeah!
well, somewhere over your rainbows
Over your rainbow.
is the sunny side
They better know it.
with Joyce.
Let's talk.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
Okay, so Lagos, there is a serious debate going on in the studio. I think 2 people are disagreed already. No, you didn't disagree. Kemi disagreed.
Yeah.
I think I'm down for this whole update with the admission, the age for admission into universities. But it raises this other concern. So Lagos, this is your food. Come and eat. Well, it's more like come and work. Okay, so now I think I love it. And if you're a student, you would love it even more. I think if you're a parent, this is exactly what you've been waiting for. Those little rascals that make noise in the house, you can ship them out officially. 16. You don't have to wait 2 more years. 16. Obinna, come on, be going.
Come on, write jam.
I think you have to write jam at 15 then.
So some of them start writing from SS2.
So that probably like 14, 15.
15.
15.
Let's just say 15. If you're not
Okay.
tiny from SS2, you start writing, your hand is strong, you do
Okay.
GC, sharp, pew, ship out.
Oh, so Lagos, if you're wondering, here's a little bit of information to furnish you with what we're referring to here. The federal government has formally set 16 years as the minimum age for admission into Nigerian tertiary institutions. The minister announced this Tuesday during 2025 policy meeting of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board held in Abuja. I think it's fantastic. In fact, this is how he puts it. while declaring the meeting open, emphasized that the age benchmark is now official and non-negotiable. It used to be 18. Okay. Now, I hear some people have had the luck, if we can call it that, before now being admitted before 18. So I guess 16-year-olds have been admitted, 17-year-olds, 18, which I think, of course, is like the official age. But here is what has arisen in my judgment. The legal age of an adult is 18 years old. But now the universities are saying your ward, your child, can be admitted at 16. So it raises a question for me, and I'm posing the question to you. The 16-year-old is a minor. Are we admitting minors into university? And maybe it's a problem of semantics. Maybe it's like a problem of language. But are we admitting minors into university given what is legally stated? Anybody? I mean, I don't know. It's not a problem, but is a 16-year-old ready for the world? I know we want to ship them out. We want a quiet house.
Yeah.
We're done with their shenanigans. We would not mind seeing them 3 times a year. Okay, plus visiting day. Like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Yeah, we need boundaries
quiet.
around here, you know. But is a 16-year-old ready for the world? I asked you. Okay, she's the youngest person here. Okay, below 25, above 25. Below 25. Okay, so that pretty girl in the studio says she's below 25. All right, good. What do you think? Is a 16-year-old ready for the world? The world not the world 10 years ago, where every auntie was a mom in the streets and every uncle was looking out for you. The world today.
I think they are. I'm going to agree that they are. And why do I think that? I feel like a lot of us need to be up to date with the children of nowadays and how they grow. To be honest, let's be honest with ourselves, they grow really fast.
Exactly.
They know a lot of things. And I feel like even beyond what you teach them in the house, they see other things outside that is teaching them every other thing that you're not teaching them in the house. So I just feel like you just prepare your child for every phase they're in, because as it is, like, most of them would graduate by 16. If we calculate most children in school right now, by 16 they are done with school. You can't say that they should stay in the house for 2 years or 3 years
It's
before
not the
going
case.
to
You see,
school.
what kind of mom are you? Like, stay in the house. They could learn a skill. Like,
They could learn a
So that's
skill.
not just sitting at home and eating your food.
I mean, but most of them will want to go to school first.
And to believe me, I would even rather have a child get done with secondary school and go learn a skill. So the young lady in the studio told me that she had a 1-month sewing class with your sister's tailor. Your sister's friend. So you paid her to learn how to sew for just 1 month. Culinary school.
Okay.
So culinary, you mean you look like? Are you saying you can cook? Should we try? Like, what are you saying? You can cook?
Before then, I could cook, but I just went to learn more like in
Continental dishes. Okay, so you have a sense of continental dishes. You're below 25. You sound like a wife material at this point. You know how to sew. Okay, you're trying to become a fashion entrepreneur. You're studying. Okay, looks like. Don't you think it's better for the child in today's world? I think you're done with secondary school. Go learn mechanic. Go learn engineering. Go learn how to weld. Go learn how to fix a car. Isn't that better? Because I think so. I don't. Parents, call me now and tell me what do you think.
Joyce actually thinks so too.
We have said that yesterday our conversation on radio was education and the quality of education in Nigeria. It does quite appear that there is a general consensus that the quality of education in Nigeria is not at par with the standard of education globally. And so somehow it almost disadvantages the average Nigerian. Now, not because the Nigerian is dull, uneducated, or not capable of comprehending the world educationally, or maybe not being able to comprehend the world with the new sophistications that we have available to all of humanity at this point. No, it's that the environment doesn't equip the Nigerian. So the Nigerian has to finish university. You now have to go back to find something to do, to learn, to get back into the world. I think if they had learned it,
Why not learn it
Let me
before?
even tell you, a girl put out a message on X. Oh, did Femi send me a message? Oh,
Okay.
Oh, I'm just seeing it. Okay. So a lady put out a message, and she said that the boy or the guy who used to copy her while they were at the university just bought his 4th car.
Oh wow.
And I think she put it out to suggest, to say something like, oh, I was the one who was teaching this guy at school, but he's on his 4th car. I don't even have a car. She said that while they were at school, the guy was into business, so he wasn't always in class. So the once in a while that he would show up to class to catch up with notes, lectures, whatever, he needed someone he could depend on who had done all the mental work. So, and she was the person for this guy, and he's done 1st car, 2nd car, 3rd car, 4th car, which of course is the one she tweeted. One, I'm not sure I feel that the 16-year-old is ready for the world. 2, we can just open it up to the public.
Well, I think we can definitely open up, but I'm still going to say that I agree with your thought pattern. The fact that, they could actually just learn a skill or something before going to the university. There's that. But I also feel like a 16-year-old could be ready for the world.
Okay.
Especially now, like, it's just what it is.
I feel like things have changed.
Things have
children
changed.
Are
Like,
no longer the children
even
they
during
used
my
to be.
time, I think I went to school at 16, 17, thereabout. And I was ready to like take on the world, even though I didn't know
I
so
think
much
that was
things.
more a thought than an actual readiness. I think you really just had the thought that
So-
maybe I can fly, but
so
you
it
know you really don't have the
depends-
capability
I
to.
did
The
fly at the
exposure
end.
rate then and now is more. So aside the things you put in them as children and ground them with over the time that they stay with you, there are also things outside in their school that they see and come home and tell you, oh, I saw this. What does this mean? Or what is this? Or what is that? And they hear side jokes from those of, because they have these children, I've noticed that you can't guard them so much. They have classmates that are actually exposed sometimes. Even when you think, they're in a school that is safe, it's fine, nothing is going on. They will hear some things in that
You
school
know,
and
I'm
come home
not
and tell you.
exclusively referring to sex. I'm not.
Not even sex.
Even
I'm talking sex,
even some
cultism,
18-year-olds are not even
everything.
aware of some things that some 16 years
Children
old
know.
Sign of the cross.
They are not aware. It's just the same thing that they say
They
that.
asked me a weird question and I didn't even know how to answer. I had to say a quick prayer first so that I don't blunt out anything that will damage me in the future.
Okay.
So yes.
So these
I
days, there's
mean,
been calls for parents to actually be on the same level with their children because
You
the
have
children are
to.
growing
you have to.
way fast, and parents are not really keeping up with it.
And you
so
have to
I
be
don't
open
really
to them
think.
talking to you so that they can easily tell you what they're hearing outside. It's not like they will hear it.
So even if you don't
And
know, you
then
can quickly find out what it
You can
is
quickly
and
find out
explain
where
it
it's
to
coming
them.
from, trash it or explain it to them and tell them, okay, it's not a good area to go to, but if you still wish to be my guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you that you have kids?
No.
So everybody in the studio has no kids.
Oh.
Our opinion is probably worth about 2 cents 50 at best. So if you're young, you can speak for yourself, like the younger student in the studio. If you're a parent, let me know what you think. I really think I truly appreciate Jam for this new updates. I love it. But now I'm beginning to think, are you sure you really love it? Because I think the first offer is you can ship your child out at 16. He can call you from Abeokuta and he can't quite run home because he doesn't know his way.
Oh, Lori.
He can call you from somewhere that's not home and you can say to him, it's okay. You know, you're becoming a man. Come on now, brace up. And he's on the phone crying, oh, Dad, don't worry, come on. Don't you see your mates? Because I remember my parents used to do that.
Look at your mates. Are they crying?
You know, look at your mates. Are they crying? You know, like, come on, you have to brace up. But I think 18 is good. Telephone lines 0201 2770993, 0201 465 7190, and 08095975805. Hello, welcome to Nigeria Info. This gift. How are you?
Hi, Lady J. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon to you.
This is Oboli calling from Ikorodu.
Okay, could you speak up for us? Go ahead.
Before I answer your question, are you putting this conversation basically because of the average Nigerian child who is not as exposed as a child in the Western world, or It's just a general worry for you. So I
No,
know
no,
how
no,
to
no, not a
address
general
it.
worry. No, the Nigerian circumstance, the Nigerian environment.
Because they are disadvantaged. Okay, I understand what you're saying. So first off, as a parent, my first child is 16. She took the jump, and to me, I'm not really shipping her out because even before now, while she was in school, in the secondary school, she turned 16 in March, basically. While she was in secondary school, whenever they come home for holidays, I allow her go to a training institute and also a tech space. And now, even while she's awaiting the post-UTME time and everything, she's still also handling tech. So I think it's not really about the age, basically, because you'll be surprised what some 14, 15, 16-year-old know than even the 18-year-old. So does it simply tell us that all 18-year-olds have been matured in mindset, in everything that has to do with the site? The answer is no. But how you pattern or tailor your child in the growing process, for me, is what really matters. Okay? So what kind of training have you embedded in your child or inculcated in your child that your child has assimilated? Now look at these words now. There's a way you pass the training and your child is not collecting that which you're giving. So what have you groomed your child in that would make you say, okay, he or she is able to face the other world, even if you're saying they are not 18 years old. So growing up, I discovered that these things I lacked, I intentionally put that in my own child because I know that times are changing, everything has gone haywire, and I must not let my guards down. That is why before she turned 16, I had started doing this from inception. So I can understand your worry because of the schools we have here. I believe the children in Nigeria somehow, because they are not like on the same pedestal with their counterparts in the other side, in Sena climes. I can understand your worry. But honestly, a child that has been drilled, groomed, and processed for this period, even at 16, with what is happening presently in the tech space and in every other space, I think they are good to go. Listen to my conditions now. So it all depends on what you've instilled into that child or inculcated into that child as they are forming up. That's just what I feel on this conversation, basically.
All right. I think this is good. I think this is good. I really think it's good. I just feel that maybe somehow we are agreeing to expose our children early on. I think that there is a conformity to social patterns. You know how it is where you have a young child and you give your young child a phone. Yeah. And then you hear another parent say, I will not give my child a phone. And if you just weigh and you scale the logicality of why this parent will do it and this other parent won't do it, you see that the parent who's not doing it is thinking that there are things that you shouldn't be exposed to at an early age. So I'm not punishing you. I'm not depriving you. I just think you should know it, but you should not know it at a certain age. It was the same thing as it were in the beginning, where we ate the apple, and the plan was not to deprive us of knowledge or what else? Knowledge of good and evil. It wasn't to deprive us of knowledge. It was that you don't need this knowledge at a certain age.
Yeah.
It's just Joyce speaking, and I don't have kids, but hey. Hello, how are you?
But I'm good, and you?
Good, thank you. Welcome. It's good to have you.
Good day, everybody in the house.
Good day.
I'm a Joffa from Solar Kingdom.
Good to have you.
Thank you very much. See, this is that one. It depends on the parents. One.
Okay.
You're right. Like I for one, I will not give out my daughter 16 years to school. No, because we will go and learn a skill work. Then if he's a boy, I can risk that, but I can never risk my daughter is 16 years to university. No. Because the problem we have with this country is that sometimes we are emulating the Western world, forgetting our culture here. We still risk to push a girl of 16 years.
Wait, you're saying if it's a boy, you let the boy at 16 go to school, but if it's a girl, you won't let her go at 16?
I won't. But she still got a lot of things to undergo. That's the problem we have in this country. We have caution here. I can't go out to 16 years old to go to university. That university is just like a four walls. You learn so many things there, good and bad. I will teach you a lot of things. Go and learn the skill world. After that, you go. You must show that to face the world. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. So thank you.
Do you think it's advantageous to you to raise your children differently? Don't you think it's better for you to raise your son the way you raise your daughter? If you think it's not good for your girl
No.
why are you assuming it's good for you to put your boy outside at 16?
Thank you very much. A man is a man, a woman is a woman. There are certain things a man will face. Excuse me, there are certain things a man will face that a woman cannot face. I don't want to say now. You were talking about university. I want to university. University is the place that you can get spoiled. So there are certain things a man can face in the world which a woman can never face. One. And so then, to me, from my own understanding, I'm pushing her into all sorts of romantic mercenarism. One. We are talking of a 16 years old daughter, please. There are certain things she must go through before attending to university. So that's my own take. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So maybe is there a problem with the way we treat our boy child?
Give them a little bit free hand.
I don't think so. Am I the one who's looking a little too hard?
No,
because
some parents did it. So my mom, who had like 5 different children in different timelines, for the first 3 she did it like that. So with me she was a bit more firm. With my brothers there was a bit of free hand. But when it now came to my youngest brother and sister, I noticed that the technique changed. So she was using the same hand for both of them.
Isn't it better for us to raise the girl like we raise the boy? They are in the same world at the same time.
And they need to know the same things, the same set of survival skills. They need to have all of that.
We will go off on a break. Now we have quite a problem.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. A clash of brilliance. A war of words. And only one champion. One true champion will rise. The regional champions are ready. The stage is set. The stakes higher than ever before. Catch the I Beg to Differ National Finals live on all Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM stations nationwide. It's intellect, it's passion, it's the future in action. Debate redefined. The IBTD National Tournament begins August 11th, 2025. Only on Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM nationwide. For sponsorship, call 0805-581-5844 or email ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions. We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info. You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
Isn't it interesting, all the things you don't know until you ask? So this is news to me because, it's news in the sense that it's still happening. I thought it was an old practice where people would raise the boy, send the boy to school, like give him an education, but not give the woman, because of a cultural notion that the woman would end up in the kitchen somewhere or in the other room or your husband's house, and that the guy would. So I feel that when parents somehow wittingly or unwittingly raise the boys different than they raise the girls, somebody is being disadvantaged in that process. It may not necessarily be that maybe they don't set out to disadvantage you, but because they're in the same world, battling the same madness, the same darkness, the same difficulties, the same obstacles. They face the same challenges. So if you raise one let's say you make him better equipped to face challenges, and then you raise the other, you have already predetermined a future, or you have set an outcome for her future. Then you disadvantage it because, one, there is no guarantee that what you have predetermined is exactly what will play out. But because she's not equipped for the future or equipped for that society, she becomes victimized by the society. So is there a problem with the way we're raised? That's now looking like maybe the problem that we're dealing with in our society today. I mean, I think we have a litany of issues, but this is not looking like, it's as though culture says, well, send the men out because they are the ones who contend, they're frontliners. The women, they're not much. Do they think it's not that the woman is not much of value, or what is anybody have a language for that? Does culture think that the woman is not much? Or wait, maybe not all cultures.
Not all cultures.
Is it that some cultures think that the woman is not much of a value in comparison to the male? Because of course we've heard the man is going to carry the father's name.
Yeah. Joyce, I heard
that's a very
something.
egotistical thing.
I heard something recently from a young guy. He's not married. He doesn't even have a girlfriend right now, but he's planning that his female child, he's not going to give the female child his own name. He's going to give the female child his father's name, and then the son's name is going to give the son his name because the son will carry on his own lineage. That's how.
Wait. Sorry, stop.
So
wait.
For example, let me give an example.
Your friend, your acquaintance,
an acquaintance
will give his son his name.
His name. So let's say his name is,
I get it,
Johnson Fireme.
He'll
So he's going
his
to
son,
give the son's
Shadrach Fireme.
No, Shadrach Johnson Fireme.
Oh.
And then he's going to give the daughter Fireme. And I said, okay, now what message are you passing to your daughter that you don't mean anything to this
But
family?
your daughter is not your father's.
It's not your
daughter,
father's.
So
but
why are you giving?
She's not going to carry on your name. She's gonna go marry. And this is a young guy I'm talking about.
Like you met him.
He's not married.
In this smartphone age.
Smartphone age. When you listen to this guy, Joy, I assure you, I feel like you should have a conversation with this guy. You're gonna go like really crazy, like talking to him. He's out of this
first
world.
of all, I don't want to go crazy. Second, I don't want to talk to someone who is that crazy. No, I don't.
No, like really, it's so
What people think
unbelievable.
about it.
Everything about him is unbelievable. Even men, when they hear him, they're like, at some point, like you get to support him, like, oh yeah, this kind of thing, and then I'd be like,
you listen to another sentence
don't
and you're like,
support him yet.
Really?
Listen to him, and then by the time they listen, oh my God. Thank you for telling me not to support him before. Because if you had supported him, you would have regretted supporting him because the next thing is gonna say is gonna be really out of this world.
He just has an issue.
I feel so.
99.3.
When he said that.
99.3 Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. And I think I'm grateful for the days where I get to unravel a new problem on this show. Because I feel maybe half our problems are the creation of our hands. Off air, you were mentioning that there's a father who didn't raise his daughters.
The street I grew up, while growing up, street I grew up, there was this man. He didn't raise his daughters.
He didn't train them at school.
Yeah,
at university.
apparently he had 2 daughters, 1 male child. So he said, he's not going to take care of the female children. He's going to take care of just the male child. And this man had money. That was the interesting thing. And then he just took care of the male child. And the mother struggled, did everything that she could to train
raise her daughters.
But now the male is struggling. The man no longer has the money that he used to have. But the mother who trained the daughters are living well. They're married, successful, doing very well out of the country, sending the mom out of the country, do whatever you want to do, shopping spree in Dubai and all of that. Would you blame them for not even taking care of that father at the end of the day? Would you want to blame them for it? Because you saw them. You already passed the message to them that you guys are not important, and the mother took it upon herself that, well, I'm a mother. I want my children to do very well.
Well, I think you can forgive him for being ignorant. Well, I think you can forgive. Yeah, you can forgive your father because you also do not want to become your father. So you have to attempt to forgive your father for what would appear to be his lack of discretion and good conscience. Because You must forgive your father. Of that, I'm sure. Okay, it's Open Thought Tuesday, and one problem is not just one problem. Once you open it, it's 4 problems, and 4 problems is not only 4 problems. You open it, it's 16 problems. Thanks to Jam, can we honest to God say that? Like, this is such a good thing. It's just now the factors that depend, that's age dependent. There are issues that are age dependent. And if you say the world has changed, kids are now more exposed than before. So further expose your children to the world. I would say no. I would say no. I would say no.
Joyce, something came to my mind. Do you want to go? You want that child to go learn how to do one thing or the other. You want that child to learn some skill or the other. Is that child not still being exposed?
That's a different exposure.
Oh no,
that's a controlled. It's like an
skills.
experiment. Experiments are done in a controlled environment because there you can influence outcomes. That's better, and that happens from cradle to about when you become an adult, right? Yeah, so I like that one, controlled environment, because I mean, if I look at my youth, I thought my parents were strict, but I really do appreciate the covering that I got. In fact, until my mom passed, I didn't realize how much she covered me. It was as she passed, I just realized you're naked now. Like, yeah, you see,
you're out there.
you don't have a mom. Like, because I think there's something the parents do for the psyche of the child. For me, at least, I am thinking that. Now, it may also depend on the parents and what they visualize for their children. And honest to God, it may also depend on the child. But let's go to the telephone
That can also
lines.
be where that man is coming from when he said he doesn't want to send the female child to school. So he's trying to shield her
But
from
the
that
problem with
exposure, but
that-
it's like,
Do the same for
let
your
the boy
male
go out.
child.
But the problem with that is your female is in the same world your male whom you have prepared is in.
Imagine if they were twin, Joyce. You would not say, let your brother go to school. You stay back home and just be learning some skill.
Till you clock 18
What
and
is
then
inequality again, if not that? Open Thought Tuesday. Hello, it's so good.
Hello,
to
good
have-
afternoon.
Afternoon.
Hello,
Welcome
good
to
afternoon,
Nigeria
Joyce.
Info.
Thank you, and everybody in the studio. You're on to Felix. Joyce, you see, that thought is naive. That parent that is telling you, I'm a father of 4, you cannot even ascribe now, is mental derailed. You train your children equally, male or female. I have 2 daughters, 2 sons, and I train them equally. I give the same strict rule to all of them. No distinction. What do you think the others will be? Look, that was in the dark ages. Anyone who thinks that the female should be relegated to the background is misinformed at this our age. And kudos to Jam, because it would have been, I think, what a grievous sin for anybody to deter any intelligent child from progressing. We all went through university. You see, it is only those who did not understand the 4 walls of university education. I went through school. I refused joining cult, but I know the impact of cultism, and I also know the implication of education. So any father, any parent that wants to sit on this tide of is a female, don't treat them, is misinformed and naive. So, George, I can tell you that any parent listening to me now, treat your child equally. Teach them the negative and positive equally. Bring them on a platter of, free
It may not be
flowing field of
naivety as much as it's probably just a different kind of thinking. Because honestly,
it's
if you
not
think
a
about
matter
it
of different
culturally, that was
thinking.
the thought for the long. I'm even hearing in the studio that it's still the thought in some quarters. Well, thank you so.
Joyce.
Yeah.
Joyce. Just look at those your you call them intern in the studio. They said they never taught them what to expect in the outer
world,
state
yeah.
from school, and that and it is true, and that is why we are backward. I'm relating it to you that it was after my university education I entered the world differently from what we were theorizing in school. And this is the problem. We are very intelligent in Nigeria here, because there's nothing you will teach we will not be able to delve into it. But I think our education system should try to marry the macro and micro expectations. Not that when you leave here now you start teaching your intern how to present in the studio. This should be at their fingertips as they are growing up in their sociological department. Take them to the studio. Teach them how to operate your system. Teach them. It's very sad when I say this, because we can do it differently. But the government that keeps us in this dark will not be good for them. Thank you.
What was the hey, nice. Wait, no, wait. I can't wait. In the name of all things bright and beautiful, remember to please modulate your language. The reason I honestly introduced the letter that I received is so that I don't have to do it and you don't feel like I'm the one who's trying to impose personal judgment on you. And I've explained the position of the authorities who regulate media. I've explained our position. And I'm explaining the responsibility on your part. So please, so I don't have to keep repeating myself, all right? I'm not even sure what I thought I heard, but I thought I heard something.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay, good. Well, thank you so much for calling. Really, I do appreciate it. Hello, how are you? Can you hear me? Sorry, I can't hear you. Maybe you'll make it back. Hello, Nigeria Info. It's Open Thought Tuesday.
Hello, Joyce.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Yeah, you're wonderful co-presenters.
They're not my co-presenters, though. They're single women with opinions. Welcome to Nigeria Info. What's your name?
Yeah, Alex. Yeah.
Welcome, Alex.
For me, like on last call I said, naive. I think that is ignorance. It's not naiveness. Because for you not to train your daughter the same way you train your child, we as humans, we tend to live outside our own, in our own world and living outside the scripture. What does the scripture tells us? Train up your child the way that they will grow. So when they grow, they will not depart from it. The Bible did not say train up your own male child the way he should grow. It said train up your child. Your daughter, your son, are they not your children? These are the things humans just sideline. And it is crazy. This is what the scripture tells our parents. As a father, as a mother, train up your child. You now telling me that you have to train your child, you bear your own name. Then that means you are not capable of being a parent. If you could have that kind of mindset, because it's a male, it's going to bear your name, then carry your lineage, then that means you are not even fit to have that.
You know what's funny about this thing you're saying? We have cultures, like our whole history is awash with this practice. Imagine you calling the radio show today to curse out every grandfather and great-grandfather who held that belief. I think sometimes it's a lack of knowing differently, That's also why we have to forgive our fathers and not repeat what they've done.
We have to forgive them, because that's why I said ignorant, because they did not know. But we need to blend everything to know that this is what the scripture is written by who?
But what about people who don't read your scripture? What about, there are gamblers out here, there are hustlers out here, there are esoterics out here, people who don't quite believe what you believe and are a law unto themselves. I guess what they do is they decide what they want and try to craft a future or a destiny, if we can call it that. But I kind of get your inputs. Thank you. I really
we have
get
been
it.
predestined by God.
Yeah.
We are trying to make our own predestination the way we want.
Yeah, but you see, I think you're guarded. I think your principles are off the framework of the God philosophy. I think others may not be altogether godless, but they just know, they think differently.
I get what.
But do you think has it been beneficial? Can we say that the concept of train the male child, not to the extent to which the female child should be trained, has in any way been a better profit for the investor, for the culture, for the male, for the people who think so?
They are not in two different worlds.
It's not been profitable. Okay. Oh, well, thank you so much, caller, for calling. I really do appreciate. WhatsApp callers, thank you so much for your patience. Telephone telephone lines. It's Open Thought Tuesday. This is certainly one thing I think every Nigerian is probably happy about. I am happy about it, except, yeah, if I was not even if it was in America. Even in America, I don't even think I'll be happy if.
But that's their legal age.
Yeah,
there.
no,
I mean, they're
16.
adults already.
Nah, America.
Those ones we will be telling you, I'm gonna be an adult soon.
Yeah.
So like get
When
ready.
Hello, welcome to Nigeria Info.
Hello, ladies.
Good afternoon. It's so good to have you join the conversation.
Hi, Lady J. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm
greetings
good.
to all the other ladies. I've been enjoying your conversation. Emeka is the name from Satellite.
Welcome, Emeka.
You see, this is the 21st century. The 21st century has come with its own challenges. We're no longer living in that ancient world where women are confined to the dark space, as it were, or women have a glass ceiling over them. You can't go beyond this reach. You can't go beyond this level. No, it is a male child that will represent me. He's the one who will look after the family, the one who will bear the family name. Come on. That is outdated now. It does not hold anymore. Both sexes are very, very integral and they're important. The children that you have produced from your loins, and you're under obligation to train them in the way they should go. There were people long gone are the days when people held that belief that a woman will just one day she's going to marry and go with her husband. If you look at the world today, it is even the female children that take care of their parents the more. Male children these days get stuck with their wives and forget about old man and old mama back home. It is the female child. Most times I remember. And don't forget that these sexes all have their individual challenges. The person who was who said that there are certain challenges a man will face out there that a woman cannot face. That child you're talking about is also exposed to drug. Is in it. Hello?
Well, with you. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Exactly. That male child is exposed to drugs, is exposed to cultism. Same way.
Go ahead.
A lady is also exposed. A lady is also exposed to her own challenges out there. What you ought to do as a parent is to prepare them for the future. Prepare them for the challenges.
Yeah.
It's not just about academics. There are moral training. It's just that the problem we have in today's society is that most parents have abdicated their responsibility to the schools, abdicated their responsibility to social media. And these children are allowed to grow at their own pace without any guidance. What you're supposed to do is to guide your child. Prepare he or she for the challenges ahead. When they come back from school, sit with them, interact with them, get to know what they're going through, how the challenges they're facing amongst their peers. Be their friend. Once you are their friend, they will tell you everything you need to know. Tell you what to
Final
know.
question. If a 16-year-old who gets into a university commits a crime, should the 16-year-old be charged as a minor or a major?
Should be a minor. It's not yet by the provisions of the Constitution. That 16-year-old is not yet an adult.
Okay. All right.
It's not. Yes, it's not an adult. Adult age starts from 18 by the provisions of the Constitution. So that person should be a minor. So with that 16-year-old boy, 16-year-old girl, they are all exposed to the dangers of the world. However, we should try to what would I call it? Reform our education system.
Yeah.
We teach more theory. See people who study computer sciences, laboratory technology, have never gone to the lab, they've not seen computers. You go to some schools and you weep for those who are into tech, who are into the tech world. Look, tech has come to stay. Tech has come to stay.
Yeah.
So all you have to do while your children are on vacation, make sure you get them involved in the tech space where they can keep themselves abreast with what is happening.
Thank you.
Only then can you have generational and future leaders that will be able to withstand the challenges of the 21st century. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I'm
Really.
enjoying you guys.
So much for calling. You know, while he was speaking, two things crossed my mind.
Yeah.
It was this notion of we need a male child so that he can carry over the name. I mean, it's comical, but it's also brash. Why does your name need to be carried? What are you that we're carrying your name?
Well, they're going to carry name now.
Like,
no,
what? Why should you be replicated twice right under the face of the earth? What good has your existence been that you forcefully insist on the continuation of a legacy? What legacy are we here combating?
I mean, it's just not that we calm down with the thing
Joyce,
of
why does it
mother-in-law
seem like I
saying you
always
to have
stories?
sons?
That's supposed to be funny, that just run through, because I'm thinking,
Because I just remember
this
the
fight
man.
for male child. Nah, it's not these ones that we see here. I mean, it's not a lot of you, but
when he said, "Oh, the things that
just remember-
the males can carry,
the
females cannot carry," and I'm like, "So you come and put a male in my space because
you're carrying what you think a man may not be able to carry."
What exactly
a
are
man
those
might
things?
probably pass out."
Okay, so what we
I remember the story. I don't know why I always seem to have stories, but I just remember the man who had like 4 children. I think his wife just even gave it to the 5th child, but
Yeah.
it was actually female as well. And then this man said, I'm sorry to describe the man, he's so not good looking in any way. And then I met him, and then the next thing he was going to say to me was, "Oh, he needs a male child and all of that's gonna take care of me and do all of that." I'm like, I'm just meeting you, sir, for the very first time, and you're telling me all of this story, downloading everything about your family, and you're telling me you have 5 children, female children, and then you and your wife have agreed that because she hasn't bared you a son to carry on
Your
this
then your female
bloodline of
children are
yours.
useless because you want someone to carry your name.
So you and your wife agreed
Who
to
are
it
you?
to get someone
and
to
more.
bear that male child for you. And I looked at him and the wife, and I'm like, you guys have a problem.
Yeah, but you see, I think there was a time in our history where the air was dark, the logic was pretty much unrefined, and culture. And the problem is when it's a common practice.
Yeah, because culture supports it.
And
so
culture
once
supports it.
supports
So
it's already
it's just
a
that
problem.
now, even if I were back there in their days,
You wiped them.
my question is, who are you? What is it that you are that we must duplicate a second time? The Igbos will say when the road is good, you travel twice. Half of y'all ain't good. Why should you happen twice? Why should we permit you to procreate?
And the crazy thing is, they always think that women are to blame when they don't give birth to male children. Guy, it's you. You are.
That was a.
I think we
That was a
also didn't know
pandemic
that
for a very
until
long
science.
time.
We also didn't know that until science.
Yeah.
I can forgive
Some
that.
men still know this,
I
and
will
they still
And they
blame
still
their
blame. That's what I'm
wives.
saying, but like-
You are the problem. If you can't give birth to a male child, it's you. You bear all
It's a
those
very
things.
sad
Nigerian
thought
men, to be honest with you, this is not necessarily aimed at you, but you know that
really.
no lie has been told on the show today. So brace it. You take it like a man. If it's the truth, I know you can handle it. We're gonna go to WhatsApp right
Yeah.
now.
Okay, so this person says, "Good afternoon, Madam Joyce. I'm Lucky from Lekki. On the current discussion, I support the 16 years admission into the university. It's not a bad idea to engage them with one skill or the other while they are waiting till 18 years as it used to be. But then again, there's a possibility that when they have acquired the skills and started making money from it, the eagerness to go to school would likely reduce, thereby drifting their attention."
That's a 5-star comment right there. That's
Yep.
actually true though.
This person says,
But not for all kids, but I get
not
it. I
all,
totally
yeah.
agree.
This person says, "Can you ask the LBC if they would have written the letter, blah, 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 if they didn't call the APC?"
Well, so look, I think the position, if we're being honest and if we're going to fairly understand their position, they're middlemen, if you know, and they're like the scale carriers, and they're trying to balance scale. And to be fair, they didn't say don't criticize. They said that every party has to be represented fairly. If you understand what that means, it's like if someone was going to criticize you, at least I guess you would love the privilege to have an opportunity to speak in your defense. So I guess that's where they're coming from. And it's really clear to see. So it's not that they're not saying don't criticize. I mean, they're Nigerians and they read. In fact, the letter, which I did read, the opening part of the letter did state that they say that they're aware of the reasons that inform your frustration and they do not minimize it, but that they expect me, when you get too brash in your language, to modulate it. And I can understand where they're coming from. To say, well, maybe you can use that kind of language, and maybe this is also where you have to get sophisticated with your language at this point, because I can understand. I don't want to say don't speak, because I don't want a dull audience. I don't want a passive audience. I don't want an audience that's not, in participation. But maybe this is also where it's necessary that you know how to speak, and because we understand where the regulatory body is coming from, you know how to state your points without being derogatory. And that's fair, to be honest, right? Good. Thank you.
Okay. This person says, good afternoon, everyone in the house. It depends on the relationship that you have with your child. My daughter got into the university at 15, graduated at 18. I'm doing the same for our immediate younger sister. Age has nothing to do with maturity.
Someone actually did say that they're happy for this 16-year-old thing, even though there are not enough jobs. But at least if you're fortunate enough not to have the ASU strike, you would meet the employment requirement.
Because they want younger people.
Yeah,
you see employment requirements. You see them putting between the ages of this and that, and you see the end bracket is looking like once you are 30, I'm sorry, please find somewhere to go. Or once you are 28, get out. Or 27.
Today I woke up and I hear that ASU is pretty much contemplating a strike, and this is probably, I think there's been a strike every year in the last 4 years. So imagine.
5.
Well, I mean for longer, but at this point there has been quite a nature of consistency in this strike, and we're not fair to the Nigerian students. We have not quantified what we take away from the Nigerian youth, and I think because we have not quantified it, we don't take it as seriously as we should. More than time, we take away much more from them, including the opportunities and what they could have done with the time that we have taken from them. So I'm frustrated. I'm really frustrated by the repetition of this whole same age-old issue. We come here every year, every 6 months, every 3 months to talk about the same thing.
Recycle same conversations.
It's just the same thing. So it's really frustrating. And yeah, regulations.
This person says, hello Joyce, I think that change is happening even without doing anything. So why not do something? A 16-year-old child 10 years ago cannot face the world alone, but today a 13-year-old can, because of the knowledge and information that is everywhere.
I disagree. So that child is in Gaza. Come on.
Right after this. Every day is about winning with one play on Nigeria Info. On Nigeria Info, daily winnings is now over 150,000 naira. Just go to oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Play with as little as 500 naira, and in a few seconds, your ticket is in the draw. The more you play, the better your chances of winning every day on the Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, and Game On shows on weekdays, and the Football Frenzy shows on weekends. But that's not all. Every Friday, there will be a 500,000 naira jackpot. Playing during the week automatically qualifies you for the weekly jackpot. Your chances of winning are the same whether you play on oneplay.ng or dial *347 *880 *3#. Remember to play responsibly. Not suitable for persons under the age of 18. OnePlay is a registered trademark under Lasho Trading Services Limited, licensed by the Lagos State Lotteries and Gaming Commission.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
WhatsApp, believe me, we're on it. Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Okay. This person says 16 years of entry into the university at 2025 is good, in line with the age that we are. Any age below 16 should not be allowed. However, at 22 years, a child would have been okay to pursue more academic pursuits. My son left secondary school around 15, so I enrolled him in a computer training major, and he was through with it before he resumed university this April. He'll be 17 in a few days' time, and he's doing well at the University of Ibadan already, undergoing electrical engineering. I wholeheartedly support the 16 entry
It's
age.
like jam. I've never felt like praying for you until today. Like, I think it's such a great idea. It's just now the other unrefined. So I think now the economy has to meet jam where jam is. The policies have to meet. If we're going to advance, if you know what I mean, we have to support the society so the society can support the Nigerian youth. I think that's really where our gap is. That's where the gulf is right now.
This person says, why is everyone in a ring as if men and women have the same strength and hormones? And the fact is that women are quite vulnerable. And as a man, I'll protect the ladies in my life. It's not about women not being smart. It's about some men out there who are evil and want to prey on their innocence. It's different to be book smart, but at 16, is she street smart? Male guys, it means male, are susceptible to violent crimes, but the likelihood compared to women is low. So one needs to protect the females very well.
So do we need to go back to this again? So when we say let's protect the female, what do we mean? What do we mean? Because the dangers that beset the male beset the female. Now he's saying, why is everybody in the ring comparing hormones?
Yes, that we don't have the same hormones as male and females, and we don't have the same strength.
Well, you know that women have hormones that don't compare to male. You haven't been kinder to them. You don't have an environment where they easily thrive. In fact, only until recently, don't we still have that girl child education campaigns in the promotion
everywhere
of girl freedom? You don't have a society. Like, come on, we're going to be honest about our evaluation of what is happening in our society. We don't have a society that allows them free access. And so your definition of preserving them is not going out there with them to defend them if necessary. It's shielding them. When you shield them, you make them more powerless. So here's my theory. If you are a brother and you have a sister, and your sister, I think the best thing there may be some things you can do for your sister. But because we contend with this world are you going to get a job and work for your sister? Is your sister going to buy a car and you will be your sister's driver? Okay, good. Is your sister going to have sex and you help her carry the pregnancy? Like, when you say protect her, what exactly do you mean? She's contending with economic challenges, emotional challenges, hormones, and you're content. So it seems as though the only way we can protect them is allow them into the world and then put up a fight for them as they go about their business in the world.
Great conversation.
Either sport,
Entertainment.
or news. First, no more.
We'll fill you up on Nigeria Info.
99.3, let's talk.
It's 2 o'clock.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Here are some of the headlines that we are tracking at this time. I am Buluwati Fair Jagade. NIMET issues flash flood alert for Lagos and 19 other states in Nigeria. Floods wreck homes in Kebbi, Ondo communities. Nigeria backs global ban on nuclear tests. FRSC attributes driver's license delays to logistic issues. Lagos residents share expectation ahead of Saturday, 12th July local government chairmanship poll. And federal government sets minimum tertiary institution admission age at 16. Nigerian universities set 150 as 2025 admission cutoff mark. Reps move to strip FCDA of National Assembly infrastructure control. Rivers State government reacts to reps' budget queries. Diphtheria outbreak kills 3 children in Kaduna. Ekiti governor denies defecting to ADC. NBA seeks justice for lawyer killed in Port Harcourt. Report shows that new Nigeria Tax Act will boost foreign investment and jobs. Fiscal Responsibility Commission urges states to adopt Fiscal Responsibility Act for debt control. And federal government defends use of subsidy savings for infrastructure, human capital. Ukrainian President Zelensky agrees to replace Ukraine's U.S. ambassador after Trump call. And CBN says no hidden charges on non-resident BVN transactions. TUC and Johisu tackle acting medical director of Yaba Psychiatric Hospital, and gunmen kill 70 vigilantes in Plateau State ambush. Train crash kills 3 children in southern India. Texas flood death toll exceeds 100 people as rescue hopes dim. And finally, Kenya protests turn deadly amid heavy police crackdown. If you have a news report that you want us to cover, call us on 014657175. That is 014657175. Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Buluwati Fair. Jagade, the sunny side with Joyce continues.
What's that station again?
Oh yeah, Cameron, come by. Here's one thing you need to know about yourself. So like here we dey talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one.
You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. The Sunny Side. Welcome. My name's Joyce.
You are listening to Open Thought on The Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
All right, so sometimes I get surprised when I meet this sort of thought. I have a message here on WhatsApp. I want to be the person to read it because I want to be the person to respond to it. I honestly think, for the sake of fairness and goodness and beauty, that a man would want for his brother what he wants for himself. But nope, some people insist that they want what they want and the other person will not want what they first deserve, to want what they want. So here is David from Victoria Island. He says, and I quote, "You ladies are only having these arguments because men made it possible and convenient for you. Men invented almost everything, fought the wars, championed politics, science, and medicine. We can handpick women's contributions in all these. Instead of sitting comfortably in the world created by men, women should do better, contribute heavy. Likewise, earn it, don't beg for it." David, when you say that we are in a world created by men, I'm not even going to let you get away with the fact that you are correct. You're incorrect. Well, I'm not sure where you begin. Do you begin at the labor of men or the birthing of men? And did men give themselves, or did something give rise to men? You see, the problem with arrogance is that it blurs your vision. You don't expand the view to properly, honestly appreciate your own mortality. You don't appreciate your own weakness so that you can hide. So you plunge yourself blindly into strays, into arrows, into daggers, into fire. Yeah. And it's only when you start to burn you realize you made a wrong move. So I want you to know that in that world you have created, there are men stronger than you are. And in that world, you do not choose the preferences of those men stronger than you. And so according to the book, Might is Right, I want you to know that for this kind of hate that you have for women, that there is even far superior hate in exchange for the hate that you have. An eye for an eye, scorn for scorn, love for love, war for war, blood for blood. That when you imbibe hate, when you think that the other person is at your mercy, that even if you think that you were something of a lofty being, that there's something greater than you. And because you do not choose their preferences or choose their sensibilities, they can decide what your own liberties are. First of all, you are even wrong to assume that the world is created by men. Because even if we were to extend any logic to your thinking, the reason men think they created the world is just so that they can cloak their ignorance and their arrogance in something. The world isn't solely created by men without the contributions of women. That you choose not to see it is not something I'm willing to spend time to explain to you. But I want you to know that the women who speak here today are women whose mothers are free, whose mothers are free, whose fathers are free. Your father didn't make your mother free. Your father met your mother a free person. Because even in your cultures, there are cultures where you're not allowed to marry a slave, right? Is that true? There are cultures where you can't marry a slave under cultural until it was eradicated, right? And so the prestige of freedom is that you marry your kind. So even you that is speaking, I want to believe that your father made a good choice when he married your mother. Because if your father married a slave and gave birth to you, you're a slave. All right, good. I thought you needed to know that. And shake off this thing, this assumption of power. You're not as powerful as your ego poses. You're not. You're not. Intellect for intellect, will for will, rage for rage. You're not what you think you are. So that if there's anything I can leave you with, I'll say that you appreciate your mortality. Appreciate that there is the beginning of this man and the end of the man. That you come to an end tells you how finite you are. And you're probably not even the best of your kind. So do not look down on anything you didn't make or anything you don't stand above. Women are women, blessed, good God. The art. Women are women, blessed, beautiful. Whether she's as young as, what's your name again? Whether she's as young as Camilla or as old as Joyce. This is the price. This is the glorious imagination of the gods. Okay, now. The glorious imagination of God. I don't know who your fathers are, but
okay.
Yeah, so don't stand somewhere and look down on women. Don't do that. All right, good. Thank you. My regards to your mom, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Hello, how are you?
Joyce Onyemuwa. Joyce,
What?
you are too much, oh. Don't mind them. You are too much. Whoa! You give it to him. Good one. Quickly, Joyce, can I talk about the later the NBC road? Hello, Joyce.
What?
Hello?
I'm with you. You have some. You
Uh-huh.
have
Good.
have flowers
Thank
for the
God.
women
Come in.
here.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Joyce, you know, for your good heart, you allow us, although I'm not part of those, though, because I never use foul language. Whenever they do all this, I say, Joyce, how come you allow these people? We always tell us, say your mind. It doesn't matter. How come they don't use their brain?
Oh, you're speaking.
Thank
about
God. I know most of them will not listen today, but we'll keep on repeating it. When I call, I'll tell them, please, mind your language. For Joyce's sake, for
They
Nigerians'
listen.
sake.
I just
always
think
say
maybe
in
they
those
get
days
no. I think they
that
listen.
we
I just
should
think
not
they're.
allow
I think they
Nigerian
get
people to take
frustrated
a
or
knock
get
on our
angry.
behalf. Please, I'm begging them.
No,
all
no,
these our callers.
They
Just,
listen.
can you believe somebody called me? Christopher Onwuka, is it Buhari that killed your wife? I'm from Ogoja. I have power to kill on this radio station.
Uh-oh.
Just because he support Buhari, he feel I didn't support Buhari. People were telling me, Christopher, take police and arrest this guy. I said, no. He cannot kill me. But thank God NBC come up for this. But at the same time, I want to beg the politicians or people who are on affairs. If you do well, people will be sharing praises on you guys. Not by using foul language. At the same time, I'm not supporting using foul language, but please let them do well. Joyce Onyemuwa, please don't leave us, because you are telling those interns that maybe the last time they will come here and see you. Please don't leave. I'm begging you. Thank you.
Oh, that song. Please don't go. Don't go. What year was that? That was the 80s, right?
I can't even
You don't know the song?
remember.
All right. So I think our conclusion, if we can all agree, you raise the son like you raise the daughter.
Yep.
And if you have might, what you do with your might is to defend the weak. And that's, I guess, that's what the military does when they hold fort for a country. That's what the strong does when they hold out for the weak. It's that, and sometimes it's not just strong in physical might. It's strong in mental might, like intellectually, emotionally, financially. What else? What else is might?
You want to say spiritually?
Spiritually, thank you. No, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like anything that can be exchanged for something else, anything that is worthy enough to be exchanged can be regarded as a form of currency, a kind of might. Money, strength, capacity, motive, spiritually, intellection, emotions, anything that's of value can be exchanged. And so the stronger people put up a defense for the weak. So money is not the only form of defense.
Nope.
Wisdom is also a defense, and wisdom is finer or more superior than money. Or should we debate that too? So if you have what the other person doesn't have, you put up a fight for them. If you're in traffic, if you're a man in traffic and they're shouting at another man who you feel the man can't speak up for himself, you get out of the car, you put up a fight for the man. That's what it means to be your brother's keeper, you know? That's really what it is.
Yeah,
so let's raise our children. I was going to say let's raise, and then I looked at Nigeria. I'm like, yeah, we need to pray about that one. Okay, thank you so much for your commentary. Let's go into our divorce series.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play you an audio of a love letter written by a man to his wife. And you would for a moment think his wife was a distance away until you listen a little longer and the wife's dead. But it's the way he writes the letter. I want to ask you why we're not like this anymore. Or maybe we are. Yeah, we haven't met ourselves. We'll be right back.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
What's that station again?
Oh yeah, Kemo, come by the bike. Here's one thing you need to know about yourself. So like here we dey talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one.
You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. The Sunny Side. Welcome. My name's Joyce. If news is your quest, or gist your request, well, somewhere over your rainbows
Over your rainbow.
is The Sunny Side
They better know it.
with Joyce.
Read Richard Feynman's love letter to his wife.
No, I read The Pleasure of Finding Things Out.
Not be able to say this without crying, which is going to be very embarrassing, but I'm going to try. October 17th, 1946. To Arlene, I adore you, sweetheart. I know how much you like to hear it, but I don't only write it because you like it. I write it because it makes me warm all over inside to write you. It is such a terribly long time since I last wrote to you, almost 2 years, but I know you'll excuse me because you understand how I am, stubborn and realistic, and I thought there was no sense to writing. But now I know, my darling wife, that it is right to do what I have delayed in doing, and that I have done so much in the past. I want to tell you I love you. I want to love you. I will always love you. I find it hard to understand in my mind what it means to love you after you are dead. But I still want to comfort and take care of you. And I want you to love me and care for me. I want to have problems to discuss with you. I want to do little projects with you. I never thought until now that we can do that. What should we do? We started to learn to make clothes together, or learn Chinese, or get a movie projector. Can't I do something now? No. I am alone without you. And you were the idea woman and general instigator of all our wild adventures. When you were sick, you worried because you could not give me something that you wanted to and thought I needed. You needn't have worried, just as I told you then. There was no real need because I loved you in so many ways, so much. And now, it is clearly even more true. You can give me nothing, yet I love you so that you stand in my way of loving anyone else. But I want you to stand there. You, dead, are so much better than anyone else alive. I know you will assure me that I am foolish and that you want me to have full happiness and don't want to be in my way. I'll bet you are surprised that I don't even have a girlfriend except you, sweetheart, after 2 years. But you can't help it, darling. Nor can I. I don't understand it, for I've met many girls, and very nice ones, and I don't want to remain alone. But in 2 or 3 meetings, they all seem ashes. You only are left to me. You are real. My darling wife, I do adore you. I love my wife. My wife is dead.
Who are the lovers in the studio? Oh, Kemi's crying. Okay, so I wonder why we don't say to Kemi, you're not going to cry on the show. What are you doing?
Pulling it together.
Okay. Maybe the conversation will probably rile you up. So here's my question. Why aren't we this way? Why don't we love without fear? Why don't we love without inhibitions? Why do we want to be socially correct in the way that we love? I haven't written a love letter in a while, but that's probably something I will love to do once I fall in love again. But no, you see, you laugh about it because maybe you don't want to admit that you're shy, and so you cover it up with a little giggle.
Yeah.
But it's not just that it's art. It's that a person can taste your soul in your words, that you can attempt to touch someone, or at least someone can truly see you bare. Why doesn't it happen? Why is there so much chaos in whatever it is you call an affair these days? This man is writing to a dead person, and he says that the dead wife is better than any woman alive. And David from VI, David from Victoria Island says that we in the studio are talking because men allowed us breathe. What do you say for God who gave you hands, legs, eyes to write such an absurd message to me? But don't worry, I have your antidote. You see, that's what I say it so that women don't meet men like this and have nothing to say. If he promises you war, tell him he's late because you will be there before he turns up. All right, good. So now let's go back to love affair. Isn't that what we're made of?
Yeah.
Why do we not love so? Why don't we lay our souls at the feet of the other person?
Because people are afraid.
Yeah, I feel maybe past experience too.
And it's all
Speak
stepping
up.
out of fear.
This is not TikTok. What's your name? Speak up for us so we can hear you. Why? Because there isn't any other way to love. Honest to God, there is no other way to love than that you bear your soul as the ultimate sacrifice to the other person.
Sometimes you can bear your soul, but the person you are bearing it to
is
not
laughing.
appreciative. Does not appreciate
Maybe the
it.
person takes a picture of you and posts it on Twitter.
He takes a picture and a video of your soul being bare and then uses to do a viral video.
Maybe the person takes a picture and be like, "Aw,
POV. So cute. POV. When someone bears their out or their soul out to you, and then you're like,
what do I do with it now?
No. You're like, "Aw." Not lie. Because I don't. Then what do we have? So you see someone who writes to his dead wife and says that this world has no meaning. I'm alone. I can't do anything. There's no color to my life because you're not here. And I've been on dates, and by the third date, these people turn to ashes, and you're the only person for me. And I know you want me to go out there and have a girlfriend, but I can't because you have loved me in a way that nothing else in this world can touch me or touch my soul the way that you have. Lagos, get in here because this topic is actually because of you.
That's when they will run.
I definitely, I do feel like a lot of people are scared of actually bearing their hearts out to other people. And I feel there is this competition.
Wait. Hold that thought. Lagos. Find someone you can bear your heart to, so you don't bear it on Nigeria Info and I get a letter. How about that for an exchange? That is a fantastic exchange. Okay, yeah, you were saying.
But that's just being verbal about.
Because maybe if you had someone who
every
you
other
can
thing
lean on and they love you and you can cry on their shoulders, and they can promise you that everything will be okay. And they can guarantee that with a kiss, a hug, and a prayer. When you call Nigeria Info, you are all lofty in spirit, and you're not so bitter
and heavy.
Because what all of you called to do on Nigeria Info is you don't have anybody loving you. You're like, well, at least Joyce, by professional requirement, is going to have to listen. You're like, oh, well,
so I'll just speak to Joyce.
She has a responsibility by profession to at least listen and modulate.
Yeah.
So you just come and you just, all your emotional trauma, all the pain, all the darkness, you just stab APC and...
Maybe. Joy, I actually feel like some of these people even have people that seem like that, but they have not successfully bared their souls out to them. And I'm going to say that I feel like there's this competition between both genders where male, especially the guys of today, they want you, there's a debate between who should love who more, who should love who first. Who should love what this and that. And you don't expect that a woman, I don't know. I don't want to answer this question right now, but I just feel like a lot of people...
You want to wait for Lagos to answer first?
Yeah, let them answer it.
Okay,
because
good.
I feel like it's a major question we all need to answer at some point.
02. Kemi, phone numbers. Lagos, get in here.
0201 277 0993. Okay, that's the male line. 0201 277 0993. Female line is 0201 465 7190. 0201 465 7190. And if you want to send a message on WhatsApp or call from the diaspora, 0809 597 5809. 009 597 5809.
Hello, welcome to Nigeria Info. It's our divorce series. Hello.
Yeah, Joyce, good afternoon.
Yeah.
This is Chris.
Welcome, Chris. Go ahead.
The man talked about 2 years. You remember I work with you guys, right?
Yeah.
During Ihogo's program, I called and talked about my wife. Do you know what somebody said? Hey, Mr. Chris, stop talking about this, your dead wife. Oh, how long will you be talking of your dead wife? Oh, my gosh. How can? Mine died on the 2014. And that guy from Ogoja said, Buhari came in 2015. And he accused me, say, is it Buhari that killed my wife? How can I accuse Buhari? My wife died 2014, Buhari came in 2015. Just up to yesterday, I still talk about my wife. I was somewhere, we were talking, I still mention her. Every day I talk about my wife. Because the lifestyle I live with her, it's not what I'm saying now. You hear story from Olumide, how husband kill wife, how wife kill husband. Is this the marriage? If I'm living with this lady, my wife, we fight and break her, break television, do you think I'll be thinking about her now? Since 2014, Joyce. Then when I talk, people will say, he's dead, you should let go. No, it's not like that. Please, they should leave us alone. It's not easy to grieve, Joyce. It's not a good thing to happen, even your enemy. I didn't pray for it to happen to anybody. Husband and wife, forever, you will not see that person again. Look at my kids. I always tell them, you people make me happy, please. Don't make me feel I will be remembered by your mom, please. She's there for every one of us.
Information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
This is not just a debate. It's a battle of minds. A clash of brilliance. A war of words. And only one champion. One true champion will rise. The regional champions are ready. The stage is set. The stakes higher than ever before. Catch the I Beg to Differ National Finals live on all Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM stations nationwide. It's intellect, it's passion, it's the future in action. Debate redefined. The IBTD National Tournament begins August 11th, 2025. Only on Nigeria Info FM and Kids FM nationwide. For sponsorship, call 0805-581-5844 or email ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, the Tournament of Champions.
99.3 Nigeria Info, your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
Have you ever read Richard Feynman's love letter to his wife?
No, I read The Pleasure of Finding Things Out.
Not be able to say this without crying, which is going to be very embarrassing, but I'm going to try. October 17th, 1946. To Arlene, I adore you, sweetheart. I know how much you like to hear it, but I don't only write it because you like it. I write it because it makes me warm all over inside to write you. It is such a terribly long time since I last wrote to you, almost 2 years, but I know you'll excuse me because you understand how I am, stubborn and realistic, and I thought there was no sense to writing. But now I know, my darling wife, that it is right to do what I have delayed in doing, and that I have done so much in the past. I want to tell you I love you. I want to love you. I will always love you. I find it hard to understand in my mind what it means to love you after you are dead. But I still want to comfort and take care of you. And I want you to love me and care for me. I want to have problems to discuss with you. I want to do little projects with you. I never thought until now that we can do that. What should we do? We started to learn to make clothes together, or learn Chinese, or get a movie projector. Can't I do something now? No. I am alone without you. And you were the idea woman, and general instigator of all our wild adventures. When you were sick, you worried because you could not give me something that you wanted to and thought I needed. You needn't have worried, just as I told you then. There was no real need, because I loved you in so many ways, so much. And now, it is clearly even more true. You can give me nothing, yet I love you so that you stand in my way of loving anyone else. But I want you to stand there. You, dead, are so much better than anyone else alive. I know you will assure me that I am foolish and that you want me to have full happiness and don't want to be in my way. I'll bet you are surprised that I don't even have a girlfriend except you, sweetheart, after 2 years. But you can't help it, darling, nor can I. I don't understand it, for I've met many girls, and very nice ones, and I don't want to remain alone. But in 2 or 3 meetings, they all seem ashes. You only are left to me. You are real. My darling wife, I do adore you. I love my wife. My wife is dead.
You don't have to give me anything, and yet I love you. That's really what it means to love, where you're not loving because of what you get. All right, Lagos. Lagos, welcome to the show. Nigerian men. Hi. Okay, Nigerian women too, because apparently you also get bad press. Nigerian women. Okay, telephone lines. Hello.
Yeah, I'm still on, Joy.
Oh, I hope you're not crying anymore. Please don't cry. And I think I understand what you mean, that for you to grieve.
The other day I was in my sitting room looking at my wife's picture. My daughter came in.
Grieving is hard.
She noticed that I'm crying. She said, Daddy, why is crying? I said, I'm crying because of you. Your mom is no more. If anything go wrong, you don't have a mother who will stand for you. He said, Daddy, stop crying. I said, if you know you will stop, you don't want me to be crying, please behave, listen to me. But thank God, Joyce. There was time I complain about her. But thank God, she's keeping to this thing. I said, I begged her, Mom, if you don't want me to be crying, please stop. And she said, okay. But I thank God. It's not easy, Joyce.
There are no
She's
words
too good to me. I'm telling you. Since 2014.
But I can
even my mother-in-law, my son, you've tried. Get somebody. I say, Mama, I know. My aunties them. They thought there's something, maybe we take oath or blood, whatever. No. This lady is too good to me, Joyce. I'm telling you, Ashinedu. Her name is Ashinedu.
You are her
It's
witness
Joyce.
that
Thank
she has
you.
loved
Thank
you
you
perfectly.
very much.
Thank you
Thank
so much for calling me. I do appreciate. And I think that's really what it means to love, where you give everything that you... Nigerian men, why haven't you prospered in this area of life? Because I think you make money, but that's about it. You haven't quite prospered when it comes to surrender. We haven't seen or felt. Maybe it's not for me, but surrender, is that a bad word, Kemi?
The same people that don't understand what submission is the people you are telling to surrender.
Okay, now we have a full-fledged problem. She says people who don't understand submission can't understand surrender. Nigerian men, at least you hear the poetry and you kind of understand where the man can be coming from What are you afraid of? Why can't you give yourself so freely, so totally? When was the last time you said to your wife, I love you? One. When was the last time you said to her, you are the best part of my life? I know now all of you are nagging. It's like, no, she's not the best part. She's not. My mother is. My mother is. Nope, your mother isn't. Well, except maybe you have quite a situation. Telephone lines. Why can't we love totally? Hello.
Lady J.
Good afternoon. Welcome.
Don't worry, dear sis. We're going to find love very soon. And you're going to fall head over heels in love with that man.
It's the only thing I pray for. Otherwise, I'm good with that.
It's going to happen. You're a sight to behold. And that man is going to come. He's somewhere. Wait. Drawing closer. He's coming. Rebecca is the name from Satellite Town. Mr. Chris, I want to say bravo, Mr. Chris. Loving is an expression of strength. It's not a sign of weakness. So, Mr. Chris, anytime you speak about your wife, you manifest strength and appreciation. It's called heartfelt rendition. Like the letter that we just read out. 2 years thereafter, he still feels that he's lonely. He's been on dates, but at the third date, the third appointment, everything is reduced to ashes. That's because he had his soulmate. When you meet your soulmate, you will love. And trust me, those who condemn or criticize love are those who have not come to know God, because God is love. And I've always maintained that the strongest force in the universe is love.
Let me ask you, why do you think people don't love this way, totally, freely, submissively?
Materialistic pursuit.
Okay.
Today's world has become too materialistic.
Did you write down?
There's so much apprehension out there. A lot of people have had their hearts broken, read about broken hearts, and then this idea of everyone, especially here in Africa, especially in Nigeria, people have to fend for themselves. Everybody take care of themselves. There's literally nothing your government is doing for you. So you are determined to succeed, which has made love to take either a second place or third place in the lives of people.
Okay.
Love should be unconditional. It should be pure. It should be unadulterated. Because without it being unadulterated and pure, you wouldn't hear people like Chris still talking about their wives. It showed that he had his soulmate and he still lost his soulmate. So that letter you read out, or the heartfelt rendition, people still love today. Trust me, into this world. This morning I just told my wife I loved her and I want to take her on a date.
That's
and I'm sure she's listening.
Nice.
So that's beautiful. I'm sure I'm going to pray for you, Jesse's.
Then buy her something. You just don't say it. Like, you buy her something, take her out.
Take her on a date.
Dance with her in the rain. Laugh.
He knows I don't have to wait for any festivity or any special occasion.
Create one.
Love at all.
Life is the best. There is no occasion greater than life. So there need not be an event. You are the event. You are the moment.
Whenever
Come
you're
on
coming home, you just, love propels you to spring surprises. Yeah. You can just come home and right from your bag, something is coming out. And she's like, wow, that's for me. Who else?
All right.
Love is
so this is the first man who agrees that he's told his wife, I love you. Hallelujah. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
WhatsApp, Kemi, that's your job. Hurry up.
This person says Nigerian women don't want men to love them. They are hiding that is the one you'll be meeting. This one says, this is my own opinion. I'm talking out of experience. The moment you express your feelings to them, they hurt that feeling immediately. This is my submission. May not be acceptable to you though, but that's what majority of the ladies do.
That the moment you express your feelings to them, then they set out to stab the feeling. I can truly understand that. Like, I can't imagine a name for them this very moment, but there is certainly a name in the book of darkness for them. Wait, but you see, if a person says, oh, I love you, or this is how I feel about you, I'm crazy about you, I admire you, and you don't feel the same way, it is only civil. Like, we're not even asking for the highest level of sophistication. We're saying it's human to say, oh, well, thank you, I appreciate it, but I don't feel the same way. he will hurt or she will hurt. But at least you have dignified them. You have dignified yourself. And both of you can move on to better things.
Yep.
But this one where you tell someone, I love you, and she's like,
That's one.
You see. Then she's looking for a knife to pierce your side so you bleed out and pour out.
Gently. Pierce the drink so you know we can notice.
Hold on. Wait, Kerry. Telephone lines. Nigeria Info. How are you?
Hello, Joyce.
Good afternoon to you.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Good afternoon, Joyce. Joyce, you know, there was the other day you were on the show. Someone was talking about loving as in a wife with a mother. That is the man's mother. They are not in good terms, right? So we said something the last time that are you gonna fight for your husband? How do you even conclude that thing that day?
I don't.
Okay, we said. No, there is one program. Somebody called. Yeah, a man called.
So what did I
said,
say? No, I know what you're referring to. Confessions.
Yeah, you were saying. You were saying. If you cannot stand up for your woman, or are you a mama's boy and all that? Okay.
Falling out with your mom is the smallest price you have to pay for the person you love. Something like that.
So that's that. Okay, I wanted to call on that day when we speak about how we're going to stand up for our own love.
Hurry up! What are you eating?
Or if you
hurry up now! What are you?
Okay, what I'm eating at is sometimes you are in love, and somebody you are in love with want to die for that person, and family barrier is there one. And in Nigeria, what I discover nowadays is that people are not even loving for what love really is any longer. The frustration of the country, or perhaps you are showing your partner love, and you know the other one is saying, "Well, this is not what is on my mind for now. What is on my head?" and blah blah blah. The frustration of the country has actually killed what they call feelings in the country.
Okay.
So that's that. You know, I was in love with my ex and family barrier now. I don't want to go too much in details. So, do you know, up to now, I find it difficult to fall in love. Every other man that comes to me looks like shit. I don't see man. I don't see anyone befitting. Honestly, Joyce.
Okay.
It's so painful, especially the relationship where you build from scratch. From like we were best of friends. We are usually friends before we fell in love. Like we've been friends from childhood, not really childhood, like maybe like 7, 8, 9 years old upwards when we all became mature.
Is it possible that he's not the one?
After we're in love.
Is it also possible that he's not the one for you? Because that's usually an option. Just because you fell in love doesn't say that there are other things not to consider. It's also possible that he's not the one for you. And by the time
you know, when things happen, you start considering all that thing, right? Yeah. You start thinking, is it really the one or not, right? But it felt real. It felt good. Whatever it is you both have was real.
But it wasn't so real.
Even up to now, in himself, is not even. He can't even fall in. He can't find himself falling in love with anyone.
So why is he not?
But you know, the thing is becoming so toxic. Not toxic. Like I became so drained. Nothing is functioning.
No, that's not.
You see? And
wait, why were you being drained? Why were you being drained?
Yeah, when you expect the thing should go from one level of greatness to another, and again, family issue, family, especially when it comes to the family, they're so toxic.
Okay.
You know?
So, it made both of you fall out.
Yeah.
And then the relationship. Okay. I don't know why
I did because I feel stagnant, like I'm not moving. Of course, I love him, like I really, really want him, and it's so difficult to move forward, like I said earlier.
Okay.
And to him, to like according to what I'm saying,
so
in
the
distance,
reason, hold on a second, lady. The reason
him.
he is not with you is because of family pressure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's one thing. That's the only thing because I know we understood each other very well. Maybe we have our own differences. We'll always settle. We'll be okay
Maybe both
again.
of you will come
And
back.
there is nothing we don't understand.
No, maybe both of you will come back. But if family pressure is enough to separate the both of you, I'm not sure your love is strong enough because
Yeah, thank you. That is where I'm coming in from. I now remember why I was calling on that day because I'm not in Nigeria presently, but of course I'm calling with my Nigeria number. So please, guys, whenever you see these numbers, we don't always think they are in Nigeria calling. I'm not in Nigeria. So now, why I was calling that day was to tell you that sometimes you cannot fight some things. No one they tell you family is everything. Of course, there was a time we both now concluded, yeah, we are in this together. Let's do this. Forget about any other people. My sister, when they tell you family is stronger.
Stop. Wait, please, in the name of the light, stop. You're saying,
All right.
you're calling to tell me that there are some things that can conquer love. Basically. The same way your love was conquered, there are things that can conquer love, right?
I'm putting it to you, Joyce.
You say you're putting it to me. I am my own witness.
Seriously.
Good God.
Seriously, Joyce. Joyce, you can.
But I can at least understand your opinion.
This is how you keep doing this thing to yourself. You tell yourself, I want to be in this thing. Especially when the both of you have already discovered that these people are being barrier to us. Okay, we are in this together. My sister, is it not going to go for some family meeting? Is it not going to do some kind of thing? The mother is what we are saying. They will always find a way to want to make you serious.
Right. You have a point. I mean, you have a reality, right? And I'm not going to deny your reality. But
that's my reality. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I get it. Thank you. She really just wanted to emphasize that love dies when your mother-in-law is resistant, right? Or not approving of the union. So basically you're saying that your love is not strong enough to contend with your mother-in-law. I get it. Maybe that's your reality. And maybe both of you decided that something should win and it will not be the both of you. Because if you loved someone, you will win.
Nobody will advise you.
If you look, men who are not even capable in politics dribble their way and proclaim themselves winner on any stage where the game is played. That happens in politics. Best believe. If you had a contention against your love and you were sure that you wanted your love more than you wanted anything, that already determines the outcome. But yeah, thank you. Let's go. WhatsApp.
Okay. This person says, hello Joyce, why people don't love that way? It's simple. 1, unnecessary rules like men are to do this and that and women are to do this or that.
Gender roles.
Yeah.
1.
2, no real love. It's just what they want to get out of the love affair. 3, power, especially men. 4, money and money on both genders.
Nothing about this says that in your planet as a thought love exists. So love doesn't, you just have a situation where you pick and choose what your preferences or your choices are.
Said exchange rate.
Well, can we use the term exchange rate? And at this point, I'll probably acquiesce to that.
For exchange markets.
What's up?
What's
up or WhatsApp? What is it?
It's 2 at this point. This person says these days we can't be like this man writing to his dead wife because we are so much selfish. Just imagine almost everyone looking out for what they will gain from another than looking out for their hearts. This person says, please, is the man who wrote the letter to his dead wife still alive?
You want to marry him? Okay.
I think if he took his life to be with his dead wife, he wouldn't be criticized for it. Where in the world today, such love, can such love be found?
I think we can. I don't know why nobody's criticizing him for it. Are you criticizing him for it? That would be sheer madness.
No, he says like if the man decides to commit suicide after this, that nobody would criticize the man.
Why did your thoughts go that?
That was a derailing. That's why I said it's what's up.
Oh no, come on now. No, he's not going to kill himself. Okay, no. I think that he's not going to kill.
That's why I was asking if he's still alive too.
No, he probably still. I mean, there are men today who are in love with their wives and not married to anybody, will not be married to anybody, and they manage. They wait for it's a dignified thing to do that you wait for. You didn't give yourself life. You can't take your life, and so you cannot No.
went
How
for
did
death.
How did he? You guys and your imagination, though. WhatsApp.
Okay, this person says, Joyce, thank you. This is deep. I feel it really deep. I think it's the fear of not being appreciated and not feeling the art that stopped me. I haven't written in a long while, but I'll write to my wife again and today. Thank you.
Oh, look, I've saved. Look at, I'm doing the Lord's work.
Hallelujah.
A man is gonna write to his wife a love letter. God bless you, and I think she's gonna blush. She's gonna shy. But you see this, the next 1 month, she's not going to stop opening it. Like, you'll go to work and she'll read it. You step out, she'll read it. She'll cling to it. I think people want the assurance of your love.
Aside the vows that people say to each other on their wedding day, they just.
So maybe the vows
under the bed, they are lost. That's why people do renewal of vows, like just to recommit, like say those things again, let it feel fresh.
Kemi, I'm on a mission to save.
This person says simp. That's the very short.
Simp?
Yes, it says the very short, ugly world that the world has coined to destroy every man out there that truly wants to love with all their hearts. So
Can
sad.
I also make a case for lovers who are masculine, like men? So this writer is saying that if you show love, have you heard the term before? You're called a simp.
Yeah.
At the slightest thing that has to do with a man supporting a woman
call
or
you a
saying
simp.
something about women, like, oh, you gotta buy her bags, this and that, and then you see them come out be like, yo, he's a simp.
Okay,
He's
so
simping.
if they call you a simp, two things. You don't have to respond because, one, they're lying and they want you to be as miserable and as unloved as they are. Two, you can say, I probably would never be a better simp than I am today. Because the moment you accept it, it cannot be weaponized against you. I feel what happens psychologically is when men go at men who love their wives, say, oh, you're a simp, you're holding her hand, or you're carrying her purse, or you're loving her too much. You are a simp. Really, they don't have what you have. And
they
misery,
want it in a way,
wants company.
This version of misery doesn't want company. They want to go to their graves with you. I mean, they want you that bad on their side. They're not even saying it because they like you as a man. They're saying it because they don't have what you have, and the only way they understand the world is through their own dark shaded lens. But if you say to them, oh, look, I love being a simp. For her, I'll be worse than a simp. At that point, they can wield your seeming simpiness against you. You've accepted it. So what are they going to do? Call you, find another name? Just say
Put it on the
yes.
billboard.
And tell them, if they ever have the privilege of falling in love, they probably would be worse off simps. Maybe the ugly kind. But I really want you to know that you have to accept it. Because that way you're not ashamed of what you have. I think there's some men who want to love their wives openly, but the society doesn't encourage it. So they don't do it.
Yeah, you've
You're
heard
dying.
How can I carry a bag?
Yeah. Have you heard stories where people are literally not following the kind of people that they like because they are worried what their friends will say, what people around will say, opinions and everything. It's the same with what we're saying now. Because they're worried, oh, my friends will say this and that. They think I'm simping.
Maybe it's
they would
about
ask
time
what kind
you
of
lose
person
those
is
friends.
this.
Like, maybe it's really just that time where you delete some people off your contact list. We're probably there. Kemi, right.
This person says, good afternoon, Joyce. People still love more than that. It's just that these days people find themselves in the wrong relationships for the wrong reasons and they stay there. He said from the love letter, he stated he has been with other women. Imagine if he gets married to one of them. He probably won't love that person half as much as he loves his dead wife. Bad experiences has damaged a lot of people. This person says, my perception of about love is that most women don't reciprocate the love their husbands have for them. Maybe because their mind is elsewhere before their husbands die. Men love more than women. I haven't seen a woman cry or weep so much after the demise of her husband. Imagine the way Chris was crying for his late wife. How many women can cry for their late husbands like that?
I mean, women cry if you whisper the wrong words.
We'll just cry.
What is this one saying? Are you sure? What is this guy saying? Robert, you're wrong. Maybe it's your language arrangement. It's just off.
Very.
It has no supporting bars. What are you saying? That women don't cry? That women don't love? That men love more than women? Which is something you kind of raised earlier.
Yeah.
First of all, why is there in your language, in your linguistics, why is there the logic that a person can love more than the other person? How did we, like, are we attempting to quantify loving? Because it's not love if you can measure it.
Mm-hmm.
The moment we can measure breadth, width, depth,
The
it's
length,
no longer,
depth.
once you can determine the length from the breath, it's no longer love. We're talking about something else. So, and I've heard it before. Telephone lines. Kemi, hold your breath.
Yep.
Lovers are calling me. Surprise me. I hope it's a lover.
Maybe.
Hello, caller, Nigeria Info.
Hello?
Can you hear us? Hello. Okay, I can't hear you. If you can hear me, you're gonna please have to hang up and call me back. Lover. All right. Hey, Nigeria Info.
Hola. Good day, everyone.
Oh, good day.
How are
everyone.
we doing?
And to you too. Welcome. Good
Yes.
afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Ben.
Welcome,
and
Ben.
I'm calling from Spurrier.
All right. We're
Yes.
supposed to.
Okay. So.
You know, like I want you to
All right,
tell me how much of a lover you are, because if you fail at that, we're snatching that voice. We're giving it to someone.
Who needs it?
Man, I'm a very, very.
Boy, you got charm. Hurry up. What are you doing?
I'm a loving man. I'm actually making breakfast for my wife. So yes.
Oh.
It's that good. So the thing is, it's just sad. We live in a transactional world now. And that, in its nature, has made everything a currency. And love now doesn't seem to be quite a valuable currency in the dispensation I'm talking about. It doesn't mean that love doesn't exist. Love is, like you said earlier, unmeasurable and should only be given in its complete form. You cannot serve love halfway. It's not love, because when you are overcome with love, you find yourself doing things that you cannot even explain. I remember back then we would used to say, when a man falls in love, a new momo is born. I believe so it is for the woman. That is love. You are not afraid. And I tell people, I understand we've been hot, trust me. I don't chop my own fair share of breakfast. Okay? It may not be much, but I have been married for 5 years now, and I have never, ever cheated on my wife. And this is coming from someone who has friends who cheat on the regular and who made me, at some point before I got married, think I was going to be like them. But I stand to be corrected at this point in time. So, let us still, no matter how many times we have had our hearts broken, still understand there's still love. Those of us who are Christians believe there's still God. No matter how many times we have faced hard times, we still know there's God. That doesn't stop us from praying or believing in God. The same way, we should understand that love in its true, unadulterated form is real, it exists, and we should give ourselves to it. When and if we do get our hearts broken, we stop, we heal, and we do it again. We move till we get to that person who will love us back.
Oh, such a soldier and a lover in one body. Ooh, heaven wins. Nice. I like that. Thank you so much for calling. Yes. And this is really, so that's the problem with unintelligent people. I can't manage them. I can't tolerate them. I don't like them. I don't want them. I don't care for them. Because when you say a person is a simp, in my head, I'm thinking you have intellectual impairment. I think there's something cerebrally wrong with you. I feel you're paralyzed. But that's not a lover, because a lover is also a soldier. A lover is teeth and grit and passion and light and truth and beauty and miracle. It's wonder. It's heaven on earth. Good God.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
Charlatan Quality Anti-Malaria contains Artemisa and lumefantrine, available in cherry-flavored dispersible tablets with very convenient dosing for kids. Charlatan is also available in tablets for adults. Knock out malaria in 3 days with Charlatan from Shalina Healthcare. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor.
Charlatan is endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Grab your sunglasses, beachwear, sunscreen, and head over to Ziba Beach Resort, where there is a spot with your name on it just for you and your loved ones. To book your holiday spot, visit zibabeachresort.com or call 0704-730-0013. Ziba Beach Resort, Lagos. A beachside Christmas awaits you.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
I honestly think you're not beautiful because you don't love.
Mm-hmm.
I think you think your mother told you you're beautiful. Forget what she said. She just said it because she's your mom. She couldn't throw you away. I mean, hey. I think you're not beautiful until you're in love, to be honest with you. I mean, you're just another guy or another woman until you're touched by the fire of love, until you realize that there's something greater than you that you own. It is such a divine blessing. It's intensely beautiful. You need courage to enjoy that level of beauty. So if they call you a simp, so we're trying to define what they mean when they call the man a simp. You are saying that a simp is a weak person, or a woman pleaser.
Sort of a woman pleaser. Yeah,
Okay.
someone who is doing everything to get women on his side, trying to
Okay.
do everything to please women. So it's
Okay.
more like something, I think Kemi gave it a finite word the other time.
What you call it?
I said a person who's perceived as desperate for attention.
Something like that.
So a man is desperate for a woman's attention. It's called a simp. So that's not how I read it. Because these are arrogant men speaking, I think that when they say simp, they mean a weak person. That's how I interpret it. Like, oh, you're weak. Because it's an arrogant man speaking. So usually, to cloak his own weakness, he points the finger at the other man. Yeah, say, oh no, you're weak, because he supposes that his arrogance makes
he's
him
an alpha male,
makes him strong. But if you've been about town, if you know what power is, if you've been through the light and walked through the darkness, if you've made it out the other side, you know that arrogance is fundamentally weakness. First of all, that your arrogance is fundamentally the representation, and it's just like being naked and not knowing it. It's fundamentally the representation of your weakness, because if the moment the other person realizes that you're arrogant and knows the mathematics, you're cheap kill. Read Machiavelli. Just read read the theory, read the science of it. Don't take my word for it. So that's why if you want to be strong, you're not going to build strength out of arrogance. You're going to have to build strength out of something else. Well, because I want to be stronger than you, I won't tell you. Cammy.
Okay. So I was going to say that I feel like people can't give what they don't understand how to give, or
What do you mean
know
by
what
that?
it means. So for example, you don't know the meaning of love, you don't know what love is. So you don't even know or see it when you don't recognize it when you see it sometimes.
Absolutely.
That can happen. And I was going to quote a verse quickly. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, it doesn't boast, it's not proud, it doesn't disorder others, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it doesn't keep any record of wrongdoings, it doesn't delight in evil but rejoices in the truth, it protects, it trusts, it hopes, and it perseveres. Love never fails. So when you look at this particular
Wait.
I think it's just describing
Lovers,
everything.
I'll catch you next week. That David that sent us that message, I want to end it there. He said love does what? Defends and protects?
Protect, hopes, trust, and perseveres.
David from Victoria Island. The sun has set, my work's done, but just before I go home, I put my tools down. So this is what love is. Love defends, love protects. So if you have a sister, have friends who are weak, if you have love in your soul, if there's light in your soul, you use your strength to defend the weak. That's what loving is. That's what being a being of love. In the absence of being capable for that, the rules are the rules. There's no guarantee that you would even make it to the ring. There's no guarantee that you'll make it to the fight. Just because you sent me a message that women are
because our men
one day you don't know anybody's weight class, so you don't even want to test it. I thought it was worthy of note. My name's Joyce. The sun has set. Indeed, my work's done. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow when the sun rises, where Nigeria Info Hot Facts is next. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Until tomorrow, stay out of trouble.
Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's